Maclunky.
Welcome to the round 4 of Swiss match between Keith and Filip, brought to you by Maclunky Gaming. Joining us today with expert commentary are Tower Number 9, Frank Soldak and Phil Ritchie. Enjoy the match.
No, these are, I believe, the two most prominent leaders in the game at this point in competitive play.
Right.
And it is going to be a Sabine green versus a Boba green. So Boba yellow has been pretty popular, but Boba green is picking up again, and it is a 30 HP. So we will see what happens here.
So Frank, you're familiar with green Sabine. How well did you do with this deck?
Yeah, I just took this to Tampa SCG 3 weeks ago, I don't know. But
it was fine.
Yeah, over the 3 days, I went 15-3 in matches playing Green Sabine. That's a pretty good record, including undefeated on day 3.
That is incredible.
I kind of know Green Sabine, so hopefully I can add some insight today. And I will say, I think Green Sabine is favored into Green Boba. The only way
I agree with that assessment. I actually think that was true for set 1 also. A lot of people thought that Green Boba countered Sabine. That was not necessarily my experience when people were people were playing it at a high level.
So here's the play lines. Green Boba needs to get a ramp into an overwhelming barrage. If they can get a ramp into an overwhelming barrage with units on the board that can also trade, then Green Boba's in a good spot. Mm-hmm. All Green Sabine wants to do is go straight to the base. They want to go damage. Oftentimes now, Green Sabine is actually more of a mid-rangey deck. You have the Darksaber, you've got the ECL with Poe and the ECL with Wrecker. Those are mid-rangey type cards, but not into Green Boba. ECL, you just want to go straight to the base for Sabine. We want to see a fast, aggressive Sabine player who's putting every point of damage on the base they can.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because I think that I think there are those who would consider Sabine to be the there are those who would consider Sabine to be the control against a yellow Boba, but the aggro against a green Boba. And it's interesting how the different bases and colors can change that.
Right. And the 30-point base is a really good point that Ron brings up in our chat. If it's an ECL Boba, you have kind of contradicting tension. The contradicting tension is that with ECL, did he blow up the hand? Did he get out? Okay, now so Keith did a really smart thing. Whenever you're playing against yellow villain and you don't have initiative, you have to keep 2 first-turn plays in your hand.
Yep.
You have to do it, and he did
that. Ideally for Sabine, you keep 1 ground, 1 space, but just having 2 in case you get hit by Bazine is good, and he did. So here we go.
Yes.
Well played on Keith's part here.
So this actually brings it, and it looks like he has 2 third-turn plays too. Is that a Cassian?
It's a Cassian
and a Fleet Lieutenant?
Cassian and a Fleet Lieutenant. So this is another thing. This might not be obvious, but keeping Cassian Andor in hand instead of resourcing him immediately is actually a pretty good move, because sometimes he's going to be what you want as your turn 2 play, and if he's not, you can resource him then.
That might have been a mistake.
Yeah, this also makes you a little bit safer against opponents who are running the scanning officer, which can otherwise potentially blank your turn 1.
I think the Green Sabine wanted to use ECL. I know that sounds crazy. ECL in, kill the Bazine, because Maclunky is the only thing that's going to stop this Green Sabine right now is if they have a Maclunky to pull that Bazine back to their hand.
And that is going to be huge.
I would have ECL'd in, as crazy as that sounds, this early.
I don't think that's crazy.
So would you have ECL'd Sabine Explosives Artist on turn 1, or are you thinking ECL turn 2 for Cassian or something?
Well, no, you don't have initiative. So if Boba has Maclunky right now, then Sabine is in a lot of trouble because they reestablish the board, can Bazine you again. But it could be a cloud.
So if Boba has Maclunky, he could kill Sabine, and then Keith could play out his Cassian.
It could be a Cloud Rider. There
a Cloud Rider.
Yeah. The Cloud Rider is also bad. So the trade-off would be there's no ECL on the board for the Sabine, and there's no Bazine for him. Because then do you Cloud Rider in to kill the damaged Sabine? Yeah, you probably do. But there's an argument to be made that ECL in to kill the Bazine.
Absolutely.
And I think if there's nothing else for Boba to play this turn, he shouldn't have attacked. The Bazine should take an initiative. I think that's we'll see what else. He still has 2 open resources, so let's see what he does with them. Maybe he has another play. If he has another play, that's
Yeah, so he swings in for 1. Keith takes the initiative rather than using
see,
Sabine's ping, and yeah, Filip just passes.
I don't think putting 1 damage on Sabine's base. Now it does save him a point of damage because if he had taken initiative, Sabine would have pinged him. So there's an argument that it's okay because it saved a point of damage on his base. But I think having initiative into Sabine is way better, especially going into the 4 flip turn where you want to be able to kill Sabine when he flips. And because Keith played it better than I would have, he still has his ECL. So the ECL is still up. So there's still going to be some. I can't see their hands, but a Poe onto the Boba flip would be brutal.
Yeah, that I think that there's an interesting trade-off between using ECL in the early game to try to establish like board control or start building up units quickly versus trying to save it for the really impactful later game plays like Poe or Wrecker. In the first set, we saw ECL being used a lot for K2SO, but I think that's a bit less common now in favor of the Poe or Wrecker ECL plays.
Yeah,
And it is a 7 fleet defender here from Boba.
How critical it is for Boba to get off a ramp before Sabine is able to flip, because that will actually help you protect your flip from a Poe coming out and just taking Boba out immediately.
Yeah, so Boba actually has to be a little careful now. In set 1, there was the risk of a steadfast battalion, but steadfast battalion requires some other factors to be going for you. Oh no, it's Darksaber for Keith. Filip is in trouble.
Yeah,
this is going to be a lot of damage.
And honestly, I'm not sure why Keith killed the Bazine and didn't just put 3 damage on the base there.
Yeah, I would have gone. Well, maybe he was worried about the Maclunky there, but yeah, I agree with you. I would have just gone for base. I don't care about Bazine at this point.
Once he played the 7th fleet, once he played the 7th fleet defender, though, 3 damage from they're not going to ramp, so no Boba flip this turn. So 1 damage from Bazine isn't. I don't get it. The 3 from Maclunky wouldn't have cleared anything. One of the advantages that Green Sabine has in set 2 is that we have more of the 3/5 bodies. We have Peacekeepers, we have Cassians, we have things that aren't going to get OB'd or Maclunky'd very easily. So
I think the 7th Fleet Defender is a good card in general, but I don't think it's a good card in this situation because Filip really wants to be, Filip really wants to be the control here, and Keith just hasn't played anything in space, so having a good space unit is nice, but there aren't those like A-Wings or X-Wings or Red 3s or whatever for the 7th Fleet Defender to be taking out, and instead it's just sort of a unit sitting around.
Right. So we noticed this in last round when Filip kind of started slow. Both games, he had a slow start, and the Palpatine didn't punish him for it. Sabine's going to punish him. If you start slow into Sabine like this, you're going to get punished. And I think the Darksaber is the worst punishment. And he still has the ECL. See, if he has a Poe in his hand right now, we could go to game 2.
This game will be over very quickly.
Yeah. If there's a Poe in his hand and an ECL hasn't been used, then this game is over, honestly. I can't see him coming back from it. Look how long Boba took to make his resource decision. That doesn't bode well either. That's not the kind of decision you make when you have a great play. That's all my plays are bad right now. How am I going to pull this out of the fire?
Yeah, I'm not counting Filip out just yet. He had some nice plays in those Palpatine games. Maybe he's going to do something tricky here as well, but we'll have to see here. Chris Todd asks, is Sabine unit presumed to be in discard pile behind the deck? Yes. I don't know why he's doing that. He also has the fleet lieutenant in the like more normal discard pile position, but I think he's accidentally running 2 discard piles here. Ooh.
The Syndicate Lackey's really good. But without
taking
ramp,
that Cassian, yeah, could be, but it's not.
Without ramp, what is it really doing? I mean, he needed it last turn to kill Sabine on the flip.
Yeah, if you ramp into those lackeys and they kill Sabine before the opponent can place the Darksaber, that's a very different situation. And the difference, 1 turn can make a big difference. And
this does put the Boba player in a good action economy right now, because now it's on the Sabine player to make a move before he has to flip his Boba Fett. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Making a very awkward if he does have the Poe to kill the Boba, because
I think if I'm Sabine, is it Sabine's action right now? If I'm Sabine right now, I passed out taking initiative. What's Boba going to do? Not flip? you're very happy with that because you have a Sabine. He doesn't have a way to get rid of Sabine.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's
maybe a surprise strike with the Syndicate Lackey might do it.
No, it's not enough damage. It's only 8, and she has. Oh no, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
But we didn't see him running surprise strike. I didn't see it against. Did y'all see him?
If I have a metal ceremony as Keith, I think I just metal ceremony here. That's a good. That's a good option to like stall while still doing something.
Another good thing to do would bring another Cassian. Smuggle out another Cassian.
And that's what he's going for.
That's what he's doing. Yeah, it buys time. It gets 3 more damage on the base. That gets him to 18. A Darksaber hit gets him to 25 damage. He's presenting 10 with both of those. Yeah,
so now at this point, Cassian gets to swing in for 3. If neither of these units get removed, Keith can, I believe, win the game with a Rebel Assault here?
Yes, 1 action. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So what's he think? I get the one thing you might be thinking about is does he trade out the Syndicate Lackey? I don't think you do. I think
just go for base.
I would already had 3 more damage on the base anyway. I wouldn't have cared about the Bazine earlier.
No, yeah, he's the beatdown. Go for face.
Yeah, go to the face, dude. Just go to the face. I can't see his cards in his hand, but with 3 cards in his hand, there's got to be a good card there. 4 cards in his hand, there's got to be something. I mean, a 4 cause I believe in. It might be as easy as no.
There's the trade. He's going for the trade.
Oh, that's 6 damage more on the base he's now given up by trading instead of going to the base. This would be at 21 with initiative to hit with the Darksaber. He'd be at 28 damage. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's game over if there's a heroic sacrifice or a fleet lieutenant, but it's not how he's opted to play it, so we'll see.
Yeah, why is he not taking initiative? He's giving the Sabine player initiative, too.
Yep.
Yeah, Filip.
Oh, just to play a resupply? I guess he's going to try to get to a... What is he going to be? Is he
he's trying to draw to his... He's trying to resource up and get to his reinforcement walker, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's that's his plan to escape here.
And Keith's giving him time to do it, to be honest. Because
absolutely.
If he had just done the 3 damage to base and left the Syndicate Lackey, what was Filip going to do with it? Probably just kill the Cassian anyway with it. He can't kill or maybe he hits twice into the Sabine and then you've hit for 10, 13 more damage. It'd be fatal. I mean, it's frustrating. Okay, here's the ECL.
Oh, yep. ECL Poe. He's going to kill Boba. He discards a Battlefield Marine to deal 2 damage to Boba, then Poe hits Boba for 6.
And even though he has a lot of cards in his hand, still go ahead. You don't need all those cards, dude. You're not playing those cards. Oh, come on, Keith. You're not playing those cards, dude. You're not getting those. There's another Poe in there. Get all of that out. There you have to discard to make your opponent discard, even if there.
He's going for it. He's going to make him discard. He discards his extra copy of Poe Dameron, and I think it's to force a discard. I guess he could knock the shield off there, but I don't think it's very useful.
Make him discard. Just make him discard. Make it annoying.
Interesting. Overwhelming Barrage gets ditched by Filip. I guess he was maybe hoping to play that on his Boba.
Right.
I don't know.
Now, what is he doing there?
It's entirely possible.
Is he rethinking what it is?
Wait, what happened? Shh, listen.
I'm not entirely sure. He's like holding up the card.
He was playing throw it to the base.
I think you can actually. I think you can. I just want to verify.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure what they were discussing there. Filip in trouble here. Does he have some answer to that Darksaber?
I think he said do the 2 to base is what he's claiming.
It makes me discard a card from my hand.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Okay, so he ECL pose makes me ECL pose uses his ability to make kills my guy, uses his ability to make me discard a card from my hand. Okay, now he's done. No more action has occurred, and I want to undo that. I want to discard a different card from my hand.
It looks like Filip is trying to change what card he discarded.
Yeah, I can't though because he gave away information. Information's been revealed.
So I think he's talking to a judge right now, and what he's saying is he wants to change it, and no other action has been taken.
But information.
But he has given the opponent the information that he has the Overwhelming Barrage, and I think technically you're not allowed to just show cards to your opponent. So I think he's technically not allowed to do this.
I believe.
And it looks like that may be where the ruling is going here also. Yeah. So I think they're just going to play on from this point.
I think the new take-back rule says if no information's been revealed, hidden information, then you can take something back before. Yeah, but once hidden information's revealed, there's no more take-backs on either side.
Okay, so yeah, and I think unfortunately, even just showing that you have that in your hand, that is information. So Filip is not being allowed to change his decision there. And it looks like he's paying 5 resources for an overwhelming barrage. Firing it off from his TIE Defender, 2 damage to defeat the Poe Dameron there, and then 3 remaining damage onto Sabine. And now I see why he wanted to keep the second copy, so that he could potentially then fire off another barrage to kill Sabine next turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he didn't take the damage yet from Sabine on the base.
No,
Sabine
that's
just
correct.
swung,
Yeah, that he's got to change that because he
Sabine
should have
swung
just
for
taken 7
and
damage.
no one took the damage on the base. Surely they're not going to forget that. Because
Yeah.
now look at what happens if he would have swung with the 2 casting attacks I told him to. He'd be at fatal right now. He actually could have ambushed in Poe and done the 2 to the base for fatal and left the Boba leader alive if he had attacked the base.
I'm not sure if we're allowed to like intervene or whatever. I'm contacting the production
you're
team
gonna
about that
notice.
because that's a major issue.
You can't not notice 7 damage not being on the base if you're a Sabine player. Because that'd be
You can not notice stuff like that, but like it's serious.
Oh, he's got the Vader. And here it is again. If he would have those Cassian
Right.
attacks he missed.
This game would be over if he had just attacked with Cassian twice, and then the Poe ambush would have been for fatal. Okay, here he comes finding the damage. He forgot.
Okay, yeah, there's the damage. Yeah. Okay.
And that's enough
So
to
then,
kill.
yeah, so Vader is going to be able to clear out Sabine here. And then, but I don't know. I mean, we could still see it's not as if Filip has now won. Like Keith could easily close the game this turn even. You know, we could see, you know, double for a cause. We could see
a third Cassian. I don't think that would even do it.
nah, Cassian. So Cassian wouldn't close it this turn. He could bring out Cassian and get his opponent quite low.
Timely
but
record.
It wouldn't actually win the game. And now we're getting close to that point where the reinforcement walker might show up to save it. But really what you're looking for is a double for a cause here, I think. And I don't think he has it based on what I'm seeing in hand there.
His Vader should live from that.
No, there's Saber.
No, is it? Or no, he should, right? Because it should be only 6.
Damage. Yeah. Yeah, Vader should be alive.
I'm contacting the production team on that as well, but no promises on
it's not our job
on that
correct.
being marked. Looks like they found it before I even sent the message.
Completely right. I'm sorry. It's because it hits for 7.
Yeah. The ping of damage.
I think that can be easy to forget because Sabine does hit for 7 damage when she attacks, but that's only thanks to her on attack ability.
Oh,
there's K2. That's definitely a card that Keith wants to see here.
Oh, this is a really good card for Keith.
Pressing 6
and with
damage.
3 resources still open, if he does claim right now, he can still put out another unit too to really. Oh, this is good. This is a good spot for Keith. K2SO is great here.
Filip takes the initiative. I think he must have wing leader on K2. What Filip really wants to have here is just a waylay. Just bounce K2. That's what you got to do here, I think.
Yeah, waylaying K2 would help, but then you put 2 on the base from the wing leader that puts him at 24.
I'm not seeing for a cause in Keith's hand there. It looks like he has it looks like he drew a red 3 and a Rebel Pathfinder.
Resourcing, dude.
He resourced a Rebel Pathfinder there.
I hope he can't hear us, right? They can't hear us.
No, they can't hear us.
I mean, this game, I play a lot of Green Sabine, so I guess it's not fair for me to criticize, but 2 more attacks to the face, quick resource and play all your cards out of your hand every turn. You know, take initiative. I mean, the Boba player is not taking initiative when they should.
I don't know. I mean, I think Filip could make a comeback here. We'll have to see how it goes, but
no, I agree. Filip should make a comeback here, only because I think though that there's different.
But you think Keith has kind of given him that window unnecessarily by not going.
He's unnecessarily given the Boba player the window to do this.
Oh, what is this? A hotshot blaster on Vader to take out. Okay, so he uses that to kill K2, and then K2 only does 3 damage to base. Okay, so now we have that wing leader presumably has to swing. Now, if he has a noble sacrifice here, wing leader hits for 4, and then Sabine Ping wins the game. I'm sorry, it's called heroic sacrifice.
I smuggled, so I had to replenish the resource.
Had all these asked, does Keith have to display his damage on base? Keith is displaying his damage on base, but he's using a dial which is not incredibly legible at this from this perspective. That like weird wooden thing on his base is a dial. I'm personally not a big fan of dials, but I know some people like them. What?
Oh, and a Delphi.
Oh, a Delphi. Okay.
But he didn't have initiative, so there's no +2.
Yeah, does not have initiative. So the Adelphi Patrol Wing allows you to immediately attack with a unit, and if you have initiative, it buffs its power. But he didn't have initiative. However, this is still good for potentially getting him initiative because it compresses his actions. And that Adelphi Patrol Wing would now be swinging for lethal, so Filip has to come up with an answer or take initiative and hope to top deck one. Takes initiative. And there's red 3 and a ping for 1. Filip is in trouble.
Yeah, look at that Air Force fleet. Loving it.
Yeah.
I don't know how Keith loses at this point.
And Filip scoops, I believe.
Woo!
So that is gonna be a win for Keith. You know, he was able to get there in the end. There was some difficulty. It looked like Filip might be making a comeback, but couldn't quite do it. Even with the 30 HP, he was not able to get to the reinforcement walker there.
Right. I think the 30 HP gives him a little bit of breathing room, but I think he really misses an ECL. And it also gives Sabine the option to ECL more often. Like you can use your early ECL if you know your opponent can't ECL back into you too. But Boba is playing some ambushers. I mean, the Syndicate lackeys did a lot of work that turn. But I think everything we talked about pre-match, it kind of showed up. Is that if you go face as Green Sabine into Green Boba, you can win. And I think that game took longer than it had to be honest. I mean, that could have been over 3 or 4 turns earlier if he had just gone face.
Oh, hey, this is cool. Filip is using the lid of his the magnetic lid of his deck box as a privacy shield here, allowing him to look at his sideboarded cards with more openness.
Well, and it lets us on stream see it too, which is really nice. So I think is that
looks.
Three
So is he
Is that
sideboarding
Greedo?
out that Greedo, or is he sideboarding in that Greedo?
we'll have to watch because
I think they're going in.
and Greedo is good against Sabine.
Oh yeah,
it's-
Greedo's a great card.
It's not good against Sabine unit, and that's
I
the
think
problem.
That's a waylay.
Is that a waylay?
No,
underneath?
it's extremely vulnerable to Sabine unit, actually. So Sabine unit is arguably your best opening play as Sabine against Boba, because she has the ability to kill Greedo without dying and to kill Crafty Smuggler without dying. And that can mean a lot, at least in the Boba Yellow matchup.
I wonder if this Boba Yellow is playing No Good to Me Dead as well. That would be very good in this matchup, I think. It'd be a good way to punish the Sabine with the Saber.
Boba Green, No Good to Me Dead is a great option against Darksaber Sabine. I'm also wondering, if he has those confiscates or whatever, it's time.
I don't know the deck list Keith is running, but what you want to do as a sideboarding against Green Boba is whatever makes your deck faster. You really are the aggro player, as y'all saw there. If you just try to go face, Rebel Assault can be good, and it's really good too because as y'all saw, the Overwhelming Barrage doesn't really clear a lot of Sabine units in set 2. All those 5 toughness units, and then we've upgraded Sabine. Now she has 8 health.
Huge.
Yeah, it's tough to clear stuff with an OB. In set 1, OB just destroyed Sabine.
In set 1, OB would be like a board wipe a lot of the time, because you would have, they're like units like Cassian Andor, that didn't, like 3 cost 3/5. The only thing that could do that in set 1 was Boba Disintegrator. You didn't have the Darksaber as the big upgrade, and you saw a lot more use of like Wing Leader and stuff like that. That's very vulnerable to Overwhelming Barrage.
I also wonder if he brought in Bright Hopes, because Bright Hope is such a good counter to the fire sprays.
It is.
It is. I'm not sure that he's as worried about having the fire sprays as he is about going fast, because there's a green Boba and not a yellow Boba, but Fire Spray can totally end the game. And Bright Hope is also just like a bunch of HP on the board, which can be annoying for opponents to deal with.
Yeah, it saves you from the 7th fleets also.
Yeah.
If you go air.
And the double yellow Boba has all the pluses. The surprise strikes, more cunning +4s.
Mhm.
It feels
Yeah,
really
that's a good
good.
point. More ways to snipe off the Bright Hope.
Yeah, well, it feels really good when they put like a +4 on a
Oh,
Senate
and then
fleet,
you use the
and
Bright
then
Hope
you
and they
put the
don't.
Bright
Yeah,
Hope
yeah.
down. You're like, that's fine. I'll absorb the damage right here. Thank you.
Yep.
I know
Yeah.
Yellow Sabine also has some nice exhaust options that can be really nice. So you do a
Yeah.
Bamboozle or Leia Defiant Princess. Both of those can be really good answers to someone using the Cunning buff.
Yeah, I know our testing teammate Ryan from Rebel Resource is really big on Bamboozle, even main decking him in a lot of his lists now. Because it taps.
Bamboozle is, people like it was kind of a meme card in part because of the art and so on, but it is not a joke.
Yeah, it's definitely a viable option with.
Oh, that's so bad. Okay, good. He didn't have the
Oh.
Sabine unit. Putting a Greedo down and from an ECL, open ECL with Sabine unit is just like chef's kiss for green Sabine players. But he didn't have the Sabine
Didn't
unit.
have the Sabine
Not
unit.
going to punish him for it. Yeah.
So if Filip has something to do with his other resource, he should probably just claim and take this trade. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Right. Yeah, I said that a couple times for Filip in game 1, where he
Yeah,
probably
it's not worth taking. Like, even if I don't even know what else he would have that would be a 1-cost starting unit.
If he had a Maclunky, he could Maclunky Greedo back to his hand and kill off the Battlefield Marine. That's not bad.
No, that's true. That would be worth it.
That play. Yeah.
Although, I don't know. Maybe if you do that, you give the opponent another opportunity to pick him off with Sabine.
Oh, that would have been gorgeous because you would have untapped a resource with Boba and replayed the Greedo.
Oh, yeah, of course. Right, because he's playing Boba. Yep. I've been...
That would have been a blowout.
Yeah, it would have been pretty good. I've been doing I've been playing some Maclunky recently, but not in Boba, and that Boba resource means a lot.
And if he needs some ramp, but he almost needs it as a super laser tech.
You gotta just take this trade, right?
Oh yeah, you got.
That's
Greedo's got
gotta
a
be
trade
first
right
action.
now. Unless he has McClurky, I don't know what's in his hand. I mean, maybe he has a Cloud Rider. He wants the Cloud Rider.
Maybe he's like
then.
deciding whether to use a Cloud Rider or deciding whether to use a shoot first or something.
I can go back to. I pulled up a green and yellow Boba list. Let's see what other good options there are. We haven't seen Salacious Crumb this game yet.
What's the hit rate?
We
of
did see him
Greedo?
play it in that top game.
What's the hit rate of Greedo?
Oh, let's see.
That determines the likelihood to trade. It's shit. That's not good.
Yeah, there's not a
Story
lot of
about it.
events. Yeah.
Yeah, Greedo never hits anymore.
All right, so he traded, put out the super laser tech.
There's the trade.
Of the ramp options, I like super laser tech the best.
Yep. This puts Boba in a good position because he's going to be able to get Boba flipped out before Sabine has a chance to ECL.
Yeah.
And he also puts himself in range to OB the Sabine before she can get Darksaber as well. So he's in a good spot.
Ramping is desirable, and it's kind of funny. I feel like, we're kind of back to set 1 tactics here. I think it's advantageous for Sabine to start in space if possible to make it more awkward for Boba to get a good super laser tech.
Yes, that's lessened though by him not running ECL. Since Boba's not running ECL, the super laser tech is much harder to cash.
Yeah, it's true, but in this situation, he is going to get a chance to use it as opposed to, if we saw the start be like, I don't know, A-wing into red 3 or whatever. On the other hand, maybe you end up in trouble doing that against the 7th Fleet Defender, but that could be another reason to bring out Bright Hope.
The Boba player is definitely being thoughtful with his resourcing because he realizes this is a key moment in the game. And I think Sabine is actually in trouble here because he's going to get the ramp off and flip on the same turn as Sabine. At 4 resources, all Sabine could possibly have to help, of course, is the Darksaber. But an ECLing a K2SO doesn't do much of anything. Wing Leader onto Sabine might be nice. And I would suspect it's either a Wing Leader or a Saber by how fast they flip.
It's got to be a Saber.
Yeah, it's a Saber.
Saber or a bluff for the Saber.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe. Thanks.
That was a really fast flip in the action economy sequence.
I felt some confidence behind that flip.
Because one thing you can do with Sabine is you can dirtle. I think is the expression where you waste time on the Saber deploy. You get everything done so that by the time you flip Sabine at the end of the turn to put the Saber on her, you're pretty confident the opponent doesn't have an answer.
Yep. And I think that puts a lot of perspective on the Sabine. He realizes how dire it is to go ahead and get that Sabine out there.
Well, and here's why. Let me give you I'll tell you exactly what's happening right now. The Sabine flip occurred so that they can't super laser tech, go to 5 resources, Syndicate Lackey in to kill Sabine before Sabine can
That's
put the
huge.
wing leader or the saber.
Yeah. It's gonna give him the opportunity to potentially get set up before.
It's got to be the saber because the wing leader won't
There
save
it
it.
is,
Yep,
Dark Saber.
the wing leader wouldn't have saved it from the Syndicate Lackey. Now all Boba can do is probably bring the Syndicate Lackey in to hit the Cassian to save 3 damage there, or maybe still you sack Syndicate Lackey into Sabine so that when Boba flips, then you're also hitting it with. Look how much you're having to commit. Boba could
Right.
commit.
Well, I mean, the
Super
dream
laser
here is
tech,
that he
Boba
has a cleaner answer, maybe a no good to me dead or a confiscate or something, but we'll see. I think if he had a really clean answer, he would probably be firing it off fast instead of taking some time to think. So my suspicion is that he is sort of thinking his options through and what he can potentially do here.
And if he did have the no good to me dead, I don't think he would have put the super laser tech 2 there. I think the super laser tech would have hit the Cassian, so we could clear Cassian this turn. No good to me
Interesting
dead.
point, yeah, because then he can follow that up with Boba.
Yeah.
You can syndicate Cassian, then
Yeah,
Boba, and then no, it doesn't work.
Didn't work.
I'll just throw everything at Sabine.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. How many
Sabine
resources
has to be dealt
Boba
with.
has to. So the fast flip by Sabine was beautiful. It's the only thing that kept her alive from Syndicate Lackey.
Yep.
Thrawn suggests that that Boba probably wanted to flip into OB, but Boba is hostage to the dark. Well, Boba can deploy into the Darksaber. Sabine only hits him for 6, so he would still be alive, and could still fire off a barrage. I don't think that's that big a deal.
Right.
Yeah, the barrage is still really good here for the Boba player.
So now Sabine has a tricky sequence right now. I would hit Cassian to the base first because unless
She just go Boba.
No, because barrage would kill Sabine, right? I think you got to swing with Sabine first.
Barrage will kill, yeah.
oh, there's 2 damage on Sabine.
Yeah, because you take the 2 damage from the super laser tech, so I think you have to swing with Sabine.
Just swing to the base with Sabine. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you got to get your damage in while you can.
And there's also the risk of a hot shot or a surprise strike to kill Sabine, and not just barrage.
Yeah, yeah, the barrage would kill her. So you got to go base. I don't know what's taking so long, to be honest. I know it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, base.
You got to just get set up.
Base.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for Keith here, but he's got to embrace the aggro style.
Yeah, I think
all base all the time.
That was my first gut, was go Cassian, but this is a
Chris, so Chris Todd in chat asks, why was Sabine attacking for set? Oh no, he attacks with Cassian. Oh, I don't like it. We'll see if he gets punished here. I think Sabine might be dead. Chris asks, why was Sabine attacking for 7 last game, but only 6 this game? She can do 7 damage to the base because her on attack deals 1 to the base, but she only does 6 damage if she swings at a unit because unlike Sabine... Oh, and there's the hot shot to take out Sabine, and so Keith is indeed being punished for his play there, I feel. I think that was a major mistake, and... Yeah. I don't know, 7 damage, losing 7 damage to base, that could be the game. I mean, it's not over right now, but like I could easily see a world where he gets to 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
Initiative taken. Keith is now substantially behind.
My first gut also was to attack with Cassian, but that was because I was not thinking about the 2 damage on Sabine. So because I wasn't able to kill Sabine without the 2 super laser tag points. But yeah,
now Boba gets to play Salacious Crumb and heal. Oh, that's not what you want to see as Keith.
I would start thinking about the clock if I'm Keith. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is at least an argument for. Well, I think maybe you see how the next turn or 2 goes, but there's at least an argument for scooping in for time after that point.
I mean, he's ECL.
Although I don't know, he's playing Sabine. He still has 20 minutes. He still has more than 20 minutes.
I mean, and our friend Lake, who's here, just mentioned he does still have the ECL up, so there are some answers. And
yeah, dude. Imagine like he could ECL Wrecker, use Wrecker's ability to kill Boba, swing Wrecker into small Boba, kill him and do 2 damage to base.
No, I think the turn right now would be Poe into the Boba unit and
Poe into small Boba and then use the 2 damage to kill big Boba. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. This is the 5 resource turn, so
but he's got to get something. Oh yeah, that's right. This is 5 resources, not 6. Yeah, because Boba ramped. That's right.
Boba's cheating right now with his ramp.
Hey guys, Loopy just joined us in chat. Hey Loopy.
Hey, what's up, Loopy? Good to see you in chat.
Ritchie, and of course Tower. Our friend Lake has joined us.
No way. Did Scoop go next?
And
he timelied in a Pathfinder to kill the Boba leader.
What? Oh, okay, yeah. Timely intervention on a Rebel Pathfinder. Boba only had 1 HP and gets picked off.
Yeah.
He needs to have
yeah.
He needs to have a 2-drop right now.
Desperate play.
Sabine needs to have a 2-drop to make that timely worthwhile. If not, then you should have smuggled the timely in. If you don't have a 2-drop behind it, hopefully there's a 2-drop.
Oh yeah, I guess he played that timely from hand. That's interesting.
Yeah, if he has a record, it's okay. If he
bouncing the old Salacious Crumb for 1. Yeah. Cassian swings into base for 3. Boba can now kill Cassian, but I don't think that's super avoidable here.
Wait, what happened?
He bounced his Crumb last action to deal 1 to Cassian.
Well, why is he replaying it? Isn't it Sabine's action?
No, Cassian. Keith swung with Cassian.
Right. Here's the ping. Okay. There's got to be a 2-drop unit coming, or else that timely was misplayed, to be honest.
I agree with that assessment.
Because you lose a card out of hand for no reason.
Right. Well, unless he drew 2 timelies or something. But even then, like, why would you... Oh, man, Bosk. Oh, that's bad for Keith.
And resource the next one, yeah.
And he just takes initiative? Oh, man, this is...
That's another misplay, to be honest. There should have been a timely smuggle if you don't have a reason to play it out of hand. For 1, you just lose a card out of hand for no reason.
It's not looking good for Keith now.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Keith wanting to drag it out a little longer to maybe get
force Philip around the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, force him to give a little more information of his deck. There's an argument.
Swanee in chat says we're getting a game 3, and I think it's likely. We'll have to see how this goes. Loopy says he's tuning in on lunch from a showdown. How's that showdown going?
If it's like most of Loopy showdowns, he's winning it. So.
Oh, okay. I always saw his hand there for a second. There was an R2.
He must have taken the R2 to play it last turn.
It's literally Poe Record.
Yeah, I don't know why he hadn't scooped. I mean,
you can Poe Record is still alive, but that's
barely though. Look at all the stuff on the board.
Well, Poe can kill Boba, and then Boss can do the same.
That's true.
That's it. That's like
he does still have his ECL up.
Yeah,
so
he still has his
there's
ECL.
that. But still.
But like this is
okay.
That's what's. And Boba's getting later and later in the game.
20 minutes, so one win. Okay, there's
ECL Wrecker.
Okay, so he's still alive. He went through the
Wrecker swings into Bosk, killing him, and that should be what, like overwhelm for 5?
Yep.
Yeah, but
overwhelm for 5, and then getting rid of a resource to deal gets rid of a rebel assault to deal 5 damage to Boba Fett unit and clear it.
I like it. High risk, high reward.
That's a big play, but Filip has the opportunity to make some plays himself this turn, and we'll see what happens.
5th point of damage from bringing the Crumb back to hand. I think it's at 2 damage. A Maclunky Crumb attack for 1.
Maclunky would be so brutal here.
On the Maclunky Gaming Twitch channel, I should learn to pronounce Maclunky.
Yeah.
Now Filip would have the opportunity at this point to basically do whatever he wants because Keith is tapped out.
And
so this is a rare situation in Star Wars Unlimited where you get to just structure your whole turn with no intervention from the opponent. It's an overwhelming barrage with Salacious Crumb.
Philip has a sense of humor. I think that might be the first time in Star Wars Unlimited history that Salacious Crumb has fired off an OB.
Yes, I sometimes joke about something being underwhelming barrage when it like you play it on an exhausted unit and it kills one thing or whatever. But in this situation, it seems reasonable.
So I almost suggested it, and I'm glad I didn't because it wouldn't have mattered. But I almost thought about Wrecker going through the Boba only to take 3 damage back instead of taking 4 back, but now it wouldn't have mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see an R2.
And there's another Boba disintegrator.
Oh, you're going next. That's all that hand.
Yeah, that hand's got. There's a 4 cause, but he's at 6.
Someone asked, do they not resolve the 5 overwhelm from Wrecker or the Sabine ping? I think Filip is writing life totals on a pad, but not always putting them on stream. I'm not sure, but yeah, there should be more damage on the base.
Yep, he should be at 12.
That's right.
That's a great catch, Phenom.
Oh, but might as well be at 0.
Yeah, now we're at 17 minutes. This is where you really do just go ahead and think,
scoop
okay, game
that hand,
three.
Yeah, at this point, I probably do actually scoop for time if I'm Keith.
And to be fair to Keith, even if he had attacked with that Sabine Darksaber for 7 damage, he wasn't winning this game. I mean, that 7 damage now doesn't look that relevant.
Well, I don't know. So like at that point, you're at what? You've done 11. At that point, you've done 18. I mean, it's not clearly over, but it's not looking good. But like with 18 damage on the base, it's not like. Okay, fires off a for a cause and finds another for a cause. I'd probably discard everything there except for my other for a cause.
So he's at 11, 14 damage then? Is that where we're at?
He should be at 16 damage now. Because he should
Five
have
plus 4 and a
12
ping.
plus the 4.
Was there a ping I didn't see? Okay.
Yeah, there's a Sabine ping last turn, I think.
Even another one gets him at 20. He could timely in another record at some point. Maybe that's what he's getting to.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look. I'm not saying Keith's winning, but I think if he had the 7 damage, he'd be in a reasonable position, and even without it, maybe his reach stuff will work.
No, you're right. Now that I see I thought the damage was at 6 when I said that. No, now that I see the damage,
got it.
15, yeah, that 7 he missed is huge.
Okay. The good old Green Squadron A-Wing, normally played on turn 1 instead of turn, 8 or whatever this is. Ooh, and then a Fetz Fire Spray. Not what you want to see as Keith.
Did he not ping? Wait, why didn't this be?
No, he took the initiative.
No, ping. As soon as he puts a Fire Spray down, ping. Because he's going to attack with the Fire Spray. He's not going to not attack with the Fire Spray.
What's his left total?
He returns Salacious Crumb. I think you actually may have to damage your own Boba to do this. I don't know.
Do what?
Yeah, Crumb's a force thing. Yeah.
No, he erroneously damages his Fetz Fire Spray, which isn't legal. I think he's changing it. Maybe it has to be a ground unit.
The point's on Boba. The point on the Fire Spray came from attacking. Yeah.
And then he replays it. Okay. And then replaying it for the heal. 15 health left. So if you're Keith, do you scoop here?
Yes.
Did you ask me 4 minutes ago? Yes. Only because he missed. Now you're pointing out. Only because he didn't attack with the saber with Sabine.
And that
Could have 8 to go at this point.
I believe they just announced 15 minutes remaining. So Keith's got to be aware of time. Now, on the other hand, he's playing Sabine. Sabine is just about the fastest deck there is. So maybe no, it's not, but it's one of the fastest. Fires off another for a cause. 4 for 4 again. I guess you keep K2 and nothing else. Actually, it doesn't matter because he'll just die before K2. Oh, does he? Here's a question. Does he have timely intervention?
Right.
Keeps Poe in K2. Now, to me, that does speak of a timely intervention.
There may be one that he can smuggle in.
He's dead next turn to Fire Spray.
That should be another 4 damage to base, which would then put us on 19. But I don't think he's making it.
Yeah, just Fire Spray and Clank.
Battlefield Marine.
How much fun has this been to watch and to cast this with you, Luke? I mean, Tower, this is fantastic.
Yeah, this is real good. Okay, it looks like a claim.
Actually lethal.
Yeah.
I was worried that
And
not dealing the Sabine damage there. You had me either way, it turns out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should have swung with that Sabine when I had the chance.
Maclunky to kill. Maclunky bouncing Fire Spray kills the Battlefield Marine. Fire Spray replayed. There's the handshake.
Yep.
Okay, so we're on to game 3. It's 1-1. Keith does get to go first this time, which is a major asset. And I we'll see if they make any changes to the sideboard at this point in the round, and with this time on the clock. I'm not sure that you do, but it is possible he has some sideboard changes for going first versus going second. It does look like Keith is changing something.
Maybe.
Swaps out 2 cards.
Okay. They need to hurry.
I think it was just 2.
12 minutes. The difference in the 25-point base and 30-point base was huge there for Philip. I think Thrawn's bringing that up in chat, that on a 25-point base. Now, granted, the ECL could have changed the board state for him.
Yeah.
But if that had been 25-point base and he had swung correctly with the saber, that was going to be probably a win for Green Sabine, to be honest.
Now, on the other hand, maybe he has 25-point base and he can ECL his super laser tech and get that going faster, or he can ECL some like one of those Bobas to ambush something that's already swung and take 6. There's definitely some options.
Mm-hmm.
The question is it worth the 5 HP?
Right. Because if he had ECL'd in the super laser tech, the 2 damage wouldn't have been on Sabine, and that would have made it even harder to clear with the Sabine, with the Dark Saber on her.
Good point.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. I think, like I mentioned, Alex...
Well, on the other hand, though, if he ECLs that super laser tech into Cassian, now he has, now he has 5 resources when Sabine shows up. Maybe he has those Syndicate lackeys. You know what I mean?
Exactly right. It could have been it could have been a much safer way to kill Sabine before she could put the saber on her. So, no, these are all interesting play lines. I mean, this game is so deep and complex. I love it. I could play these games. I mean, I got hundreds of games into Green Sabine because
they don't have a lot of time, but I'm hoping they can close things out and we aren't going to see a double loss here.
Yeah.
Looks like it's less than 12 minutes to go as they start the round, and it's going to lead with a A-wing. A-wing Greedo. Is there a Maclunky to kill this A-wing? Initiative taken. Oh, there it is. Maclunky, kill it. Replay Greedo with Boba. That is a strong start for Filip.
Yeah, that's the dream line.
And it kills almost anything. There are a few units that live to it if you don't get lucky. Or no, they just live to it because Greedo doesn't actually die.
I think the only card Green Sabine's running that would survive that is R2-D2 on turn 1.
Yeah, so R2, and then if you're playing one of the other versions of Sabine, a red Sabine might run Partisan Insurgent, a yellow Sabine might run L3, and those would survive against that. But in general, 3 damage to your starting unit is pretty tough to deal with.
Yeah, this is taking too long. I mean, they got to play faster. Oh, that was on the Boba. This is why we need chess clock. See, that was the Boba player delaying it.
There is a serious risk of double loss here. If we see a game where Filip is mostly stabilizing but not closing, oh man, that is bad. That is so bad for Keith. A Battlefield Marine. Greedo just trades.
It tells me that his opening hand must have had a Fleet Lieutenant. Wait,
what's the board state? No,
is he racing?
No, there's no way. I just think
wait. Yeah, he goes for base and then he Cloud Riders the Marine. Okay.
That makes a lot more sense.
Okay,
yeah,
they're just shortcutting for time reasons.
Yeah, now they're starting to play faster, so we have to pay even better attention.
Salacious Crumb hits the man. Keith is very far behind at this point.
Probably what happened for Keith there is he had a wing leader or fleet lieutenant for his turn 2 play that got blown up.
I see the fleet lieutenant in hand, though he might have just drawn it.
He was expecting to go A-wing into fleet lieutenant, and when he didn't, all he could pivot to was the Battlefield Marine.
That's another reason why you got to keep that Cassian Andor in hand for round 2, just in case your turn 1 play gets picked off. Top 8 Gamer says Sabine has plenty of time to finish a game in 10 minutes. So look, I agree with you in principle, but the last game took much more than 10 minutes. And if we see a similar thing where Sabine is making progress, but Filip is mostly stabilizing and it's taking him a while to close things out, we could see a double loss here.
4 is on 4.
Yeah, they're both on 4 resources. This is a bad play for Sabine. I mean a misplay. I don't mean a misplay. Just poor.
Yeah, it's just not what you want to be doing.
Part of the cards that his only 4 resource play was a Bright Hope.
So what does this mean? That means he's sitting on like Poes and Wreckers?
That's what he's got a hope of sitting on.
He doesn't have a Dark
Loopy says that at his showdown, the field is literally half green Sabine, apparently.
Well, if anyone wants to learn how to play Green Sabine, come watch Courtney's channel, Blonde Sabine. That's all she plays, Green Sabine now.
Dude, you're deviating from your channel name, man. What is that?
No, she played Blonde Sabine in set 1, and then honestly, when Saber, Poe, and Wrecker and ECL in set 2, we just couldn't not play it. Poe, Wrecker, Dark Saber, and Green Sabine is so much better.
Well,
for us.
you can play Dark Saber and Yellow Sabine.
Maybe.
Who are you putting it on other than Sabine? It's fine. But Poe and Wrecker, you know, dubious. I don't know. Maybe you play Poe and Wrecker anyway and go for sneak attack or something.
Yeah, Ryan from Rebel Resource has some great deck builds using some of those play lines. Everybody should go check out Rebel Resource.
Oh man, what is this? So Boba shoots the base with a hotshot blaster. Sabine deploys and ends up, or I'm sorry, Greedo with the hotshot blaster, and Sabine deploys and trades with Greedo. This is just very much not what Keith wants to be doing here at all.
Yeah, I don't know what bizarro world we're living in right now. It is probably, in Keith's defense, this is probably all he's got. But surely he has a Poe.
Now there should be 1 damage to Filip's base from Sabine's on attack ability, but it may have been forgotten here. This is an extremely poor position for Keith, but we'll see if he can do something with it. He still has his ECL, right? Maybe he can answer Boba with ECL or something. Wow, Waylay on the Bright Hope. This is brutal.
Now he pings to waste time. Ping first.
Yeah. Pinging is a good.
Oh, to pick up.
Can you guys believe this? This is so it's turn 4. Sabine has already deployed and been defeated. And the life totals are, I believe, 10-0. 10 damage on...
Unless the damage got healed off.
0 damage on Boba's. He is very, very far behind.
As your first action, he can't even ECL anything.
Right.
And then you
He might actually not want to ping... No, he does go for the ping, which I think is reasonable. There's an argument for not pinging, though, simply because he's in a worse position on base HP.
He can't... Okay. Weird.
He's trying to force out the ECL, but like obviously
some discussion in chat that might have been a time stress decision to have Sabine trade with Boba. Is there a hot shot on? What the?
Oh, he's action stall. Yeah,
he just action.
Yeah, so in order to stall, he plays a metal ceremony to do nothing.
He's trying to get Boba to flip.
Yeah, so he's Poe.
Boba honestly could just pass right now.
I would pass.
You don't have to deploy.
No.
Boba flips. Boba gets ambushed by Poe.
It made Sabine
discards the Bright Hope to kill him. Is he going to discard something else to defeat that hotshot blaster?
And having to waste a metal ceremony means he couldn't make him discard a card out of his hand, apparently, because he only had 2 cards left. That would have been a big discard out of the hand.
No, he has a bunch of cards. He has 4 cards now, so he had another 2.
But he only had 2 that he wanted to play, apparently, because he didn't make him discard.
I think there's an argument for not going for the discard, but for using the defeat upgrade to clear that hotshot so that Salacious can't just trade with Poe here.
Yeah, that's a great argument. That was great. Yeah, this is just very unfortunate for Keith that it came down this way.
Oh, no.
Oh wow.
Wow, overwhelming barrage on Salacious Crumb yet again.
Yeah.
That Wrecker shows up and blows up Salacious Crumb. Wow, Salacious, some very odd Salacious Crumb, some very odd Salacious Crumb plays this game. But that's sometimes what happens when you're thinking outside the box.
And here comes the Wrecker to kill it. That's crazy.
Okay, but now you have to enter Wrecker.
Okay. So this, it's not good for Keith, but it could be worse.
Okay.
Wow, no good to me dead on Wrecker.
This is a bad sign.
Only going to exhaust him for 1 turn, but it might buy Keith enough time to find an answer. The problem is I don't know if they have enough time in this game. They have less than 4 minutes left.
A couple of times on Filip, but there's another example where he probably could have just taken initiative and his first action played no good to me dead. To tap Wrecker for 2 turns, not 1.
Yeah, no, that's true. Maybe he's trying to keep his resources though, so that he can do maybe he needs those resources for a fire spray to try to close the game fast or something.
All the way back to game 1, I noticed Filip was missing opportunities to take initiative when it would give him more of a competitive advantage by taking initiative, not doing something else.
Could be, yeah. Okay, a Green Squadron A-Wing enters the field. Okay, so if you're Keith, do you play your Darksaber on Wrecker and just go, all right, we're going for the gold. Not enough time, all eggs one basket. If he has it, he has it. I don't know. Do you do it?
Well, it depends if I can get initiative or not. If I can get initiative,
That's not happening now. Yeah, take the Darksaber. It's not even close. It's not
Okay, so
close.
Bazine, so what do you do here? Do you Bazine this Darksaber?
yeah, I think you have
Do you
to.
Bazine the Fleet Lieutenant? Do you not do either because you might draw something better? He does Bazine the Darksaber.
What did he draw? I wish we could see what he drew. Can't see what he drew.
Why should it be like a medal ceremony or something?
No.
Here, I'm taking initiative if I'm Keith, unless I got a great play right now. Did you have that 7 damage Wrecker with your
Can't
first
quite see the card that he just drew. He still has that Fleet Lieutenant in hand.
I wish we knew the damage on the base. That's actually in the.
It wasn't a Wild Azoki. Yeah, it wasn't a Wing Leader. It was a Fleet Lieutenant. Yeah, I mean,
Maclunky off the A-Wing. Okay.
Maclunky off the A-Wing. Okay, not. Oh, and then double Bazine. Here we go. Bazine is back. It was a medal ceremony. That is arguably the worst card you could draw in that scenario.
I wouldn't make him discard. Oh, I wouldn't make him discard at all. The Fleet Lieutenant's a little bit of action economy, but it's just a little 3/3 a body because Wrecker's not.
Yeah,
a
it's
rebel.
not that good. I think. Look, I think they're going to time, man. This is crazy.
And he made him draw into his 4 cause I believe in. He wouldn't have drawn the 4 cause this turn if he hadn't bazined. The 4 cause was the last.
Guys, keep in mind Bazine's ability does not have to be used.
Right.
There are some situations where you can see the opponent's hand and be like, nah.
You can keep all those cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
Did he keep the medal ceremony? What the? Did he keep them? No, he okay. He resourced the medal ceremony. Okay, good. All right, Wrecker swings in, 7 damage to base. Keith is finally making some progress. He does actually have a somewhat favorable. Oh, but Maul shows up, and all the damage from Wrecker is inflicted on Bazine instead.
That's a good Maul.
How much damage is on Keith's base? Is that right? 14.
I think it might. It might be 12 or something. I'm not sure.
I think that playing.
All right, there's all 4 damage from that. That's good.
It's not playing.
Filip is now getting enough damage that even though I think time is going to be called, I think Filip will actually be able to close the game in the 2 bonus rounds. Or maybe not though. If they don't finish this round fast, okay, they did. Okay.
All right, so he gets this round and next round. Yeah, he should be able to.
Yeah, he can just win with Maul and Greedo. So we are going to see. I think it's going to be 2-1 Filip. That Maul there was big. Yep, and he goes for base, which is correct.
Yeah, if he's got anything under
21 damage on base.
Yeah, he's a blaster, I guess, or a surprise strike out of hand.
He plays small Sabine. I don't even know why he's doing that. It doesn't
Another Maul, good.
double Maul. Okay, and the other Maul wins the game with overwhelm damage. Okay, and that is game. Victory to Filip.
Wow.
Yeah, so game 1, Keith was able to get the win. Game 2, after a drawn-out battle, Filip prevailed, and now in game 3, Filip had a much stronger performance and a really dominating win over Sabine.
It'd be interesting to see Filip's deck list later, but we never saw a surprise strike, so he may not be running it, even one of in his deck.
Man,
yeah,
that was a wild scenario. That turn 1 Greedo Maclunky Greedo is a very bad way to start the game as the Sabine player there.
Yeah.
And it really seemed like he just didn't have, his turn 2 play was Battlefield Marine, He didn't have what you would want there, which would be something like, bring out a Fighters for Freedom or a Cassian or whatever.
Thanks for watching and supporting Maclunky Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.